another one of my sessions where Gary's in lockdown. Today I've invited a shirt along. I can't hear him speak because his shirt's too loud. I have a bit of a history of burning through creatives really quite quickly. This is the guy who puts all of our video content together. He's a bit of a genius at it, in truth. He understands the madness of our creative minds. He understands what we're trying to achieve. He understands that we're quite bold and brave about stuff. The importance of getting professional grade video versus doing stuff on your phone individually. How to do it brilliantly. Some top tips from the top man. And then to give people some ideas about what is important in terms of video going forward. So without further ado, the shirt, the man, the mystery, the legend, my mate, can I introduce to everybody Neil Kemp. Hi, Neil.
How do? Hey, up from up north. How's it going? Welcome to my shirt.
Welcome to my shirt. Brilliant. I'm too sexy. Neil, so I know your backstory. It'd be interesting for you to share it with some other people because it's interesting. It's very cool.
It's a mad journey I've had. Years ago, I started out in the license trade. I used to run snooker clubs up in Yorkshire and Lancashire for a number of years till I was about 27. So I'd kind of got a lot of street smarts from running city centre clubs in Leeds, Bradford and Manchester, if you know what I mean. And then went back to university to do a film degree. Fell into DJing after that and did that for a number of years. And that kind of gave me a lot of influence into the way that I put productions together now in terms of how I edit to music, how I cut things to music, I feel the music and visualize what is going to be on screen through the music a lot of the time.
But music is really quite important, right? Because actually it sets the tone. We spend quite a lot of money on the music to give out everything that it's supposed to. We want to look young, fresh, edgy, of the moment. So there's lots of banging house in what we do, isn't there?
Well, it helps with you choosing that particular genre because I'm all about that. I'm all about that, and it definitely helps. So I know what you like in terms of all of that. I know when to do a faster paced video and when to slow it down a little bit. It's like DJing, I guess.
It would be great to use this opportunity to talk about what makes a great video, right? There are different genres, there's different ways to go in it. You're a filmmaker. How important is it to have the understanding of exactly what it is that your customers are after and to get their tone of voice and to understand exactly what they want to be doing, in what tone? Is it funny? Is it serious? Is it to make you more attractive? Is it to be seen as a subject matter expert? How do you do that?
Well, absolutely. Is that first all comes out of the brief. I mean, when I first started with you, I was hammering you guys for a clear and specific brief because I think in the early days between me and you were still finding your feet in terms of how you wanted to get your message out there. So it was a case of we were working sometimes not against each other, but we were just kind of like that. And then all of a sudden it just went like that. But from the get-go, when working with a client, I always ask for a clear, specific brief so that I can really chew it down, synthesize it into my own brain and work out how I can make that look really good on screen with what branding they've got, what assets they might have. I'll even want to talk to them about the values, the beliefs as a company, and then transmogrify it, if that's a word, transmogrify it into this little package that I do. And the music comes out of that, obviously. Is it a slow piece? Is it a fast piece? Like I say, are we going to go for a funny side? Are we going to go for a serious side? Is it just straight down the die like that? So a brief is the key moment where I can really understand what the client wants.
So how many times do you need to work with someone before you kind of get the vibe?
Well, I would say it depends on the success rate of how you gel together. I mean, on average, I'd say probably once. I think if we do a really good job the first time round, then I've got it. I mean, for instance, I would say the recruitment businesses that I've done work for already in the RDLC, such as William Alexander, AmSource, Cast UK, and Source Recruitment. Pretty much straight away, I've got their vibe. I've done one piece of work with them, and they were all very good pieces of work. They were very happy with it.
I'm here to blow smoke up your ass, by the way, and I'm very happy to do so because you've kind of changed everything for us and you've made us money. On a technical note, what do you use to shoot your films?
I use a Sony A7S DSLR camera. It's not the newest of the bunch. They're still waiting on generation 3, and they've been waiting on generation 3 for the last 4 years. But finally, next month in June the 20th, they are going to be making an announcement on a new camera, and rumor has it that it's going to be the A7S III because the 4 came out 4 years ago. I've got the first generation of it. It's still a very good camera, obviously, because keeps you guys happy. But this one, I'm assuming, is going to be serious next level.
And lighting's really important, right? So I've got to say, I've had to move this desk around in the kitchen because everything I've been doing recently, I just look like the shadow outline and silhouette. And I used to be a photographer.
You still look a little bit dark around the nose, mate.
Dark around the nose. I that might be the red wine. Thanks for noticing. I feel all Alex Ferguson. What do you use for lighting?
Okay, well, for when I'm doing a shoot with you guys, when we do the education series, it's a setup called the Aperture Amazon, and it's just a set of 3 professional LED lights that you can basically do a setup whereby you are backlighting the backdrop. You know, the white backdrop, the big drape that we put down behind you. And then we've got a side light diagonally to the right of you, to the left of you, and then one on the right directly at a straight angle towards you from the other side. And then on top of that, I've got a spare light of my own, which I will then use as a fill-in next to the camera, just in case there's any slight shadows popping in there. So
no shadows, consistency, and that helps you with the edit, I guess.
Well, of course, you need to be well lit for anything like that. We need to see you, and it's got to look the business.
Especially when I book rooms that are in dungeons in the city, and there's no outside light. I do challenge you. I walk you into a room and I just see the whole body language goes up. Which just makes me happy. Tell us about the edit, right? Because actually, do you know what? Before I do that, let me just say this. When we used to film all of our events, and I've worked with a lot of video people, the one thing that you guys did, which was absolutely genius, which must have caused you so much extra work, was the fact that you took pictures of pretty much everybody walking in the room. You caught an image of them writing a note or doing something, so that when I picked or victimized somebody to do a piece of camera for me, to do a testimonial, you could capture all of that. And it was unbelievably strong, but nobody had thought to do that before. Is that something that just came to you as a stroke of genius, or was it something that you actually thought about?
Yeah, it's something that as a trained professional videographer that I've always done, in terms of whatever scenario I find myself in, it's about capturing enough B-roll. That's what you call it, B-roll. So that's the actual B-roll, or cutaway shots. So it's just like shots that you will use to reference something that is being talked about. If you've got like an interview on screen as such. So yeah, for instance, I've got somebody having a testimonial and they're talking about it was fun, or hopefully I might have caught them doing a smile on camera. Yeah, because you can't predict any of it. A lot of it's just like haphazard because you're there with a camera and you're hoping you're going to capture something amazing. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. And then there's Gary there the next day going, "Where's the fucking smiles? Where's the fucking notes being written?"
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not that. It can't be that I'm not funny, because that ain't happening. And the setup, because we were just laughing there, because we were just talking 30 seconds ago, and you were reading stuff off all the screens. So I'm guessing you've got multiple screens. What's your edit suite look like?
Basically, I've got 2 big monitor screens up in front of me, both like 32-inch monitors, 4K babies. You need 2 monitors because of the amount of windows that you've got going on. You've got one screen dedicated to the main chunk of the editing software, the second screen for other windows where you've got different things contained in there. For instance, like your different source files, your different folders of different sequences, music, etc., effects, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's
and what software do you use to power
Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the standard, industry standard these days.
You've got professional cameras, got professional lighting, you've got professional rig, versus you've got a CTO who wants to cut a video, who's doing cut and paste stuff and doing some edit on his phone. There's a phone app. It's not the same, right? Is it?
No, it's not. It's the quick fix. It's the quick fix scenario, isn't it? It's somebody wanting to get something done, get it out there as quick as possible, with less panache, with less experience, just because it's cheaper and it fits their budget. And obviously, I'm going to champion myself because I want the work, but I do want to help clients solve the problems and do it in make them look good at the same time. It's about standing out as well. Going back to that video that we did with you guys talking about standing out, even more so in this current climate where we're about to do the bounce back. And then the competition will probably be quite fierce. I think so. You really got to take some time to invest a bit of money into it.
We've now got a repository of so much video that if I say to you, can we repurpose this? I don't know how many times we repurposed that stuff. I've had this idea. Can you bring that out? So it might be, could you get a picture of everybody cuddling and we use it as an anti-COVID, right? So when we come out, this is what the pirates would be doing because this is how we all feel about each other. You could literally go through all of this and the quality of it, that you can go plug, and you can do me a 90-second video. It probably only takes you 10 minutes, but you get this great video because you know that the quality is all very consistent and it's the right grade. So you don't go to kids to do it. You're not going to go to an advertising agency to do this stuff because they're going to put margins on it. You spend the time to find an absolute gem, and I'm happy for everybody in the world to work with you, right? Because I love you and your work is absolutely brilliant, and I still believe that my creatives are better than everybody else's, so we'll come up with better ideas. But we give you the work, but just don't go cheap on video because the better the job you do first time round, the more of that you can repurpose. And it's easier for you then, isn't it? Because actually you don't mind taking that piece of work on because you know the quality is good.
Yeah, you can get quality like this and it's not even London rates.
Unbelievable. It's literally, if you stop buying shirts, you could even be cheaper. People should be working on their bounce back strategies today. They should be looking at what their core messages are and getting them out there today. They should be investing in the video, and because video ain't going away, is it? It's here to stay now. Yeah. Do you have any stats on what video means versus written word?
So yeah, starting with demand for video content, which is increasing. The preference for video content it's not just limited for entertainment purposes, and it extends to brands, obviously. Studies show that 54% of consumers want to see more content from a brand or business they support. So that obviously says that there is a need for it. And 87% of marketing professionals use video as a marketing tool. 73% of consumers claim that they have been influenced by a brand's social media presence when making a purchasing decision. Video for profit. 88% of video marketers are satisfied with the return on investment of their video marketing efforts on social media. So, you can go on and on and on. There's so much need for good video content. It's all about content these days. People are consuming it like crazy.
Got you working like a dog at the moment, so reformatting all of our videos for our website. So as when the new website goes live, we've put the same color on everything, haven't we? So we put a black and white, and then we put the pink wash over everything, that they will look consistent. Great question. What's the optimum time or duration a video should be to gain maximum openage, is that a word, and views on LinkedIn?
Okay, well, the rule of thumb these days is probably a minute, but social media platforms, it's a minute.
Right. And I do too.
Well,
yes, I do.
The thing is, we've restructured it a little bit. Only just in the last few months, we've been starting to do trailers for your YouTube videos. So we put the trailer out, which should be no more than a minute, maybe a minute 30 at the most, which then directs you to the YouTube channel where you can put the full length video on. These videos as well. So it's that kind of rule of thumb. People's attention spans is very limited on online, basically, especially on social media. If you got them hooked into YouTube via a link and they're actually really serious about watching the content, they will watch it. But clicky, or scrolly down Facebook and Instagram, they just want a quick fix, right? On to the next.
I don't mind giving away, but it's video that attracts most people to RDLC because it's the thing that we post. I might say something brilliantly clever, but it's the videos that people kind of know us for. Are you getting people just trying to be different and doing things like that right now?
It's all about the idea of you're attracted to humor and laughter, aren't you? Wherever you get the energy, it's about the energy. You'll go to the warm end of the pool, so to speak. You know what I mean? Where the energy is, where the heat is.
I'm the #1 rock star on the planet.
I think we should be doing more, way more, and I think more brands should be doing the same. It's all about getting people attracted to your brand, and this is a perfect way to do it.
What was your opinion of working with someone like Scott, who basically beasted us in terms of direction, energy, took the piss out of us, wasn't having any of it? I mean, he's theatrically trained, and he wanted the best out of us. But what's your opinion of working with people like that in these situations?
Great, absolutely great. It was a bit of a masterclass for me to watch him in action, because I'm a budding film director myself as well. Got a short film doing the rounds on the film festival circuit right now. Got a few nominations already. But so as a director, of the film, watching what he was doing in terms of how he was getting you guys to get in the zone, and just his general bullish persona.
Again.
Yeah, it was just
energy.
Like full on, but then lovely with it. 1 minute he'd be like, it was good cop and bad cop rolled into one. And that was great, just to see him do that and get the performances out of you. And it just made a few aha moments manifest in my own head. So
people got to be more creative about this stuff and think about whatever you're doing. But you don't have to be bleeding obvious. You just need to have some fun with it.
Yeah, people need to push the envelope a little bit more. Right.
So if you're speaking to recruitment business leaders, that's me doing the news. So we must be coming together. If you were to give recruitment business leaders 3 bits of advice about using video to the max over the remainder of 2020 and going into 21, 22, what do you think it might be?
First and foremost, find somebody that you can click with. Yeah. You need to be working with somebody who you can develop a good relationship with very quickly, and who can understand you, who could get you, and who will be open to your ideas, but also be willing to offer his or her own input. And to help you guys grow, or well, to help you guys grow and him or herself grow at the same time?
Which, funny enough, you come to our Christmas party, you're at Ibiza with us. We go out for drinks together. It's right. You're part of the firm now, and to be fair, as a result of having that relationship, I know you're grafting on Saturday and Sunday, and because we're both working together on stuff, and you wouldn't get that if it was just a business relationship, right?
So yeah, and then just the other thing that I'd probably want to say to sort of the CEOs is like do find the money to invest in a long-term project, because it is worth it further down the line, because you can have lots of content that you can repurpose as well. It's not just, you could spend 1 or 2 days filming lots of different ideas that you can then just like create months worth of content out of just in the edit. So give us a call.
I've got to say, apart from use the word project and that cheesy end, mate, well done you. I love working with you. It's an absolute pleasure. It's the reason why I suggested to do this. Neil Kemp, everybody. Shout out your business email.
Take a screen grab of that. Neil@in432.com. I would love to work with you recruitment leaders.
Can I just say that I've worked with you for ages now. I didn't understand what in432 ever meant. Now it makes sense to me. Why did I not spot that? I bet you were absolutely chuffed up with that, and I totally missed it.
Sometimes you're a grower, not a shower.
Oh, brother, you're brilliant. Thank you very much. Everyone on LinkedIn, if you're not using this, man, you're missing a trick. As long as I get my jobs to go at the front of the queue, right?
Yeah.
Right, peace and love, Will.
All right.
Peace and love.
Care, nice one.
I don't know what's happened to the curtains, but put them back. Love you.